So obviously that comic recap there wasn't perfect. It's like you lost half of your squad, and yeah, the choices for the Mass Effect 2 portion of that comic are not the best, but they kind of tried to. Okay, let me just kind of get this out of the way right now. This is part of the problem with this game. That comic is like an indication there. There was a massive change in terms of the personnel that worked on this game. I've heard that it was about 80% of the team that worked on this game was not the same people that worked on the previous 2 games. And that right there probably gives you an indication as to part of the issues and problems with this game. This game was made by a different group of people than the previous games, in the third part of a trilogy. Now, this was something I can kind of excuse for Andromeda, because Andromeda was supposed to be like a new chapter in the series. So yeah, different team, because that was something I noticed. But a lot of people apparently didn't really notice that until later. But that was supposed to be like a new chapter, a separate story from the main series. This is literally part 3 of a trilogy. That's like having a whole new group of people working on Return of the King compared to the people who worked on Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers, if we're just focused on the Lord of the Rings trilogy here. As an example. Yeah, there was also something else, and this is definitely executive meddling, because remember, EA! Yeah! They wanted to get bigger numbers when it comes to selling Mass Effect 3, so you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to design this game for people who had never played the previous games before. Now, I understand accessibility. I'm even someone who's usually in favor of it, trying to make things more accessible to other people. But there has to be like specific circumstances involved in that in order to make that work. Like trying to get new players into an MMO, for example. Even if it's been around a long time, there are still ways to get new players kind of up to speed. That doesn't make the people who had already been there for a long time feel as if you are treating them as if they are stupid. And unfortunately, that's part of my issue, especially with the intro to this game. The intro for this game, it really does feel like they made this specifically only for the people who were brand new to this series, as opposed to those of us who had been playing the previous 2 games, who were loyal followers and fans of this, who had set up all of our different Shepards and such, ready to import to this game to see the third part of the trilogy that we had been waiting for. No, we were kind of forgotten about, and they instead wanted to get other people who were brand new to this, who had never played the previous games before, knew nothing about it, and wanted to get completely summarized. And, about the previous things. Alright, just get right into the third game. I mean, I can understand wanting to do that, but you gotta do that in a way that doesn't make the other portion of the people who are playing this, your actual, loyal consumer base and fans, feel like you are treating them like they don't matter. And that's part of the big problem with this game here. And again, that's more than likely on the part of meddling. Many of us suspect and believe to this day that it was EA's executives that were doing that because more money and more numbers. Now, unfortunately, not too much of this intro has been changed that much. There's been some bug fixes and such, but a good chunk of this intro is still the same as it was when it first came out, to my irritation. There's something about this intro that, to this day, bothers me. Just absolutely bothers me. It's one of those things where I'm not sure how many people have ever noticed it, but it really helps emphasize just the kind of problem that was going on when it came to the development of this game. And either how much they were forced to get it out faster than they wanted to, and just simply didn't have the time and resources to work on it properly, or something else. But yeah, anyways, let's get underway here. So I always found it interesting that these were the choices that they wanted to showcase here. The Ragneck Queen, we saved Ashley, saved the Council, saved Malin's data, kept Rex alive, rewrote the Heretics, destroyed the base, survived with everybody, did not romance anyone in the first game, romance Garrus. Yeah. Now I actually tried to use a mod that was supposed to really help enhance the appearance of Shepard. I got it to work with the first game, I think, but it wouldn't work for the other second and third game because of some other mods that I already have in place. You know, compatibility issues and such. And it's a shame because it looked really good. It was like a nice 4K retexture of Shepard's face, and it just looked really, really good. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get it to work. So, oh well.
How bad is it?
Bad. We just lost contact with 2 of our deep space outposts. There's something massive on the long-range scanners.
Is this what Shepard warned us about?
I'd stake my life on it.
How long do we have?
Not long. I sent word. The fleet's immobilizing.
God help us all.
I'll comment on that dialogue between the two of them in just a moment here. It's part of my overall problem with this intro. I'm not reading that aloud. You guys can read it yourselves.
Commander.
You're not supposed to call me that anymore, James.
Not supposed to salute you either. We gotta go. The Defense Committee wants to see you.
Sounds important. What's going on?
Couldn't say. Just told me they needed you. Now.
Anderson?
Admiral?
You look good, Shepard. Maybe a little soft around the edges. How you holding up since being relieved from duty?
It's not so bad once you get used to the hot food and soft beds.
We'll get it sorted out.
What's going on? Why is everyone in such a hurry?
Admiral Hackett's mobilizing the fleets. I'm guessing word's made it to Alliance Command. Something big's headed our way.
The Reapers?
We don't know. Not for certain.
What else could it be?
If I knew that.
Oh, gosh. Forgive me. I did tell you guys that this intro drives me bonkers. Right from the get-go in that intro there, you heard the exchange there between the two of them, right? I really want to emphasize something here. Since the first game, who have been 2 of the people that have been behind Shepard in believing what she has been saying about the Reapers, since this all began? Anderson and Hackett. Go back to the first game and listen to how much Anderson backed Shepard when it came to all this stuff about the Reapers and all the warnings that she was giving about, what was going on, the vision from the beacon and such. Anderson is right there backing her up, talking about all this, just not even questioning her, taking her word for it. Even Hackett in the communications has been believing her. That was also made clear in the second game. These are the two men who have constantly been backing Shepard. And you hear them talking about this as if, oh, something big. This is a method that some will use. Remember what I was saying about how they made this for people who had never played the previous games before? If you have been playing the previous games before, you know what this is. The Reapers are coming. That was part of the whole point of the finale of the second game and the Rival DLC, was that we knew they were on their way. Just in case you didn't catch it, this is 6 months later. This takes place 6 months after Mass Effect 2, because as Hackett told Shepard, you need to go to Earth with your dress blues on, ready to take the hit. Which she did. And you know what happened? They put her under house arrest and grounded her and took away the Normandy. And other things have been happening off camera as well. But that's why Shepard has been in that room, just kind of chilling, and why they were talking about, like, how's it been? Oh, it's not so bad when you get used to the hot food and soft beds, because that's all she's been doing for months, separated from her squad who went their own ways. We're going to get some follow-up to that. But just... And, that stuff is fine, to be able to explain the time jump, and the fact that this is part of the point of the Arrival DLC, was that it then had forced the Reapers to spend another handful of months in order to be able to even get to this point, because if that relay had not been destroyed, this would have happened 6 months earlier. But the fact that they are talking about this as if they don't know what's coming, they don't know what's on the way, when these two men know exactly what is on the way, but they're talking about it as if they don't know, something big. It's specifically meant for viewers who have never seen the two previous parts of this trilogy and are having to try and get caught up on what's going on. Or they're trying to play up a mystery to those viewers who don't know what's going on, to make them go, oh, what is this they're talking about? It again makes the people who know what's going on feel like they're being treated like idiots. And you just feel like the tone and feel for this is completely wrong. I understand, again, I do understand the idea of try to make this accessible for people who hadn't played the previous games. But I would never recommend to people to jump into a series in the third part of a trilogy. Because you are missing out on so much. It's like people who say, oh, what part of the MCU should I get into? The first one. Like, I'm not going to be one of those who tells people to skip certain films, because there's things from each film that plays a role later on. I can't recommend people to skip Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers and jump straight into Return of the King, because you are missing out on so much. Or jumping into Return of the Jedi and skipping the first two. I mean, you could probably skip the first movie and jump straight into Empire Strikes Back, and that does work, but at the same time, you are missing out on some important elements here and there, Making this for brand new players, as opposed to people who have been following and have been invested in this, is one of the biggest issues and problems with the way this game was first made. And that's just like... It still bugs me to this day that that's how they handled things. Again, new team, executive meddling, but oh my gosh, just this first part of this intro, and then this is not where it stops. It keeps going. The way they talk about this, it's like their previous memories and intelligence was just turned off. Because we can't talk about this as if we know what's going on or what's happened before, because then the people who are brand new to this game are going to be confused and don't know what's going on. As opposed to, all the other people that were playing this who were continuing the series, because I don't think I've ever looked at the numbers, but my guess is that the majority of people who were playing this when it came out were people who had played the previous two games. And actually knew what was going on. I'm sorry. I don't hate this game, but this intro may be the thing that really irritates me the most about this game. Though just the way it starts, and it's going to keep going like this even through the whole thing on Mars. And it's like not even going to be until we are first on, just have free roam on the Normandy when it's finally going to stop. But there's going to be plenty of other issues going forward anyway, regardless. But it just annoys me so much that Anderson is talking about this like he doesn't know what's going on, and just... Ugh. I knew something was wrong when I first played this, and I see him in uniform like this, and I'm like, why are you here and not on the Citadel as part of the Council like I had you? And later on, he's going to reveal that he's not part of the Council anymore. And I'm like, you just gave it to Udina when I gave it to you to prevent that? There's going to be a codex entry explaining this, but I knew something was wrong right from the get-go during this intro, and I'm like, what, Anderson, why are you talking like this? It really bothered me, and it was just one of the first red flags for me in my brain. The way I was going through this, even though I was excited to finally play this, I was like, wait a minute, what? Like this is not really making sense to me right now. I'm sorry if I'm taking the time to rant here, but oh my gosh, even just that first portion there was a number of things there that just made me want to face palm. Like, ugh. And it's going to keep going. Like, throughout our time here on Earth until we leave, it's going to keep on going. Just brace yourselves. It's going to keep being bad.
You know we're not ready if it is them, not by a long shot.
Tell that to the Defense Committee.
Unless we're planning to talk the Reapers to death, the committee is a waste of time.
They're just scared. None of them have seen what you've seen. You faced down a Reaper. Hell, you spoke to one, then blew the damn thing up.
No, she didn't.
How they harvest us, what they plan to do to us. You know more about this enemy than anyone.
That way they grounded me, took away my ship.
You know that's not true. When you blew up the Batarian relay, hundreds of thousands of Batarians died.
It was that or let the Reapers walk through our back door.
I know that, Shepard. And so does the committee. If it wasn't for that, you'd have been court-martialed and left to rot in the brig.
That and your good word.
Yeah, I trust you, Shepard. And so does the committee.
I'm just a soldier, Anderson. I'm no politician.
I don't need you to be either. I just need you to do whatever the hell it takes to help us stop the Reapers.
They're expecting you to, Admiral.
Good luck in there, Shepard.
I'll talk about James later.
Anderson? Shepard.
Ashley?
Lieutenant Commander, how'd it go in there?
I can never tell with them. I'm just waiting for orders now.
Lieutenant Commander?
You hadn't heard.
No. I'm a bit out of the loop these days.
Sorry, ma'am. Didn't mean to keep you out of the loop.
You'll notice that she's wearing something different. That's part of another, I think the Expanded Galaxy mod, I think it is, where it allows you to choose what outfits you want squad mates to wear. I always thought that looked fine on her compared to the other one, but yeah, sheesh. I have more that I want to complain about just in that segment there. The way Anderson was talking there. Again, Anderson is just so weird in this intro. It just bothered me so much. The way he's talking about, like, if it wasn't for that, she would have been court-martialed, left to rot in the brig. I'm like, what? Just, I mean, they try to help explain that part of the reasons for this is because of the whole association with Cerberus, and that's part of the reason why and all that, but just the fact that Anderson almost sounds as if he's almost compliant with it, and just kind of yeah, I trust you. It just feels just kind of, tossed in there nonchalantly, like, yeah, I trust you. Again, they're having Anderson sound as if he just is not Anderson. It feels like a different person from the first two games. It just, Again, I'll talk about James later. And here's Ashley. Now, as I have said, I am a defender of Ashley and her character, though I will go ahead and acknowledge that it was clear that they did something different with Ashley's character in this. But And yeah, you know, one of the things that people point to is that Mass Effect 3 was done in a way that almost gosh, how do I say this? You're probably noticing that Ashley and even Shepard look kind of different. Yeah, and I think I'll just leave it at that. Now, there are some mods to actually go ahead and change, like, the face appearances and such, because it bothered people that much. It didn't really bother me that much. I was just like, yeah, you know, it's been months later. You know, people can change their appearance or just have a different preference when it comes to how they want to look and such. So, I can roll with that. I can accept it. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge that. Although there are some lines of dialogue here that, again, a lot of the writing and dialogue throughout this just at times just is so bothersome to me. And Ashley has a line here coming up that just... Now, to be fair, as I've said before, Kaidan has the same lines of dialogue, so it's not just an Ashley thing. This is for both of them. Because, again, they tried to basically have Kaidan and Ashley be almost interchangeable so that no matter who you chose, you were basically getting the same kind of character with either one. Because the dialogue is almost identical. Because I played through these games multiple times, remind you, with both Kaidan and Ashley. And their dialogue is almost exactly the same. There can be slight differences here and there, but for the most part, it's almost exactly the same. So this is not just an Ashley thing. This is for both characters.
I'm sure you had your reasons.
Yeah, I guess I did. Still, good to see you.
Admiral,
Come on.
You know the commander?
I used to.
The only thing that bothers me a little bit about Ashley is, like, the eyeshadow and the lip gloss, you know, because she didn't used to wear that. There's even a mod to get rid of that. I don't think I could get it to work, but, like I said, I can roll with it, because people can change how they want to look.
What's the situation?
We were hoping you would tell us.
Durr.
The reports coming in are unlike anything we've seen.
You have seen this before? Oh my gosh.
Everything beyond the soul relay.
Whatever this is, it's incomprehensibly powerful.
You brought me here to confirm what you already know. The Reapers are here.
Jeez.
Then, how do we stop them?
Stop them. This isn't about strategy or tactics. This is about survival. The Reapers are more advanced than we are, more powerful, more intelligent. They don't fear us. And they'll never take pity on us.
But there must be some way.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry that I keep stopping to rant every time a dialogue option comes up, which, by the way, you'll notice there's only 2 instead of 3. Where apparently, once again, they decided, hey, forget about the middle option for people who actually want to make, you know, just kind of neutral choices. No, you guys do one or the other. You know, I've always been one that doesn't mind that and personally prefers to always pick sides as opposed to staying neutral, but at the same time, I don't want that to be taken away for other people who do. You know, I like having that be an option for other people who actually do want it, you know? But again, this dialogue, oh my gosh. Oh, this is unlike anything we've ever seen. It's so incomprehensibly powerful. We have no idea what it is. It sounds like, again, for people who have never played these before and don't know what's coming, who are like brand new to this sounds kind of fine, doesn't it? But for people who do know what this is, who have been playing and following along, it's like, how can you not know what this is? You've seen this before. You saw Sovereign on the Citadel. You saw the colonies disappearing. You know what this is. They played way too much into the whole, let's make this accommodating for people brand new to this, and just completely completely neglected the people who actually had been following this and actually know what's going on. This is not balanced for both groups of players or viewers. This is simply for people who are brand new to this, who don't have no idea what's going on. And man, was that the wrong decision. That really irritated me. There's also some more dialogue here, even from Shepard here, that's just eye-rolling and just, ugh. Like I said, this is, of all the things in this game, I would say the intro of this game is probably my least favorite thing of this game. The thing that bothers me the most. Everything else, once we get past Mars, is fine. You know, for me anyway. You know, and yes, I'm including the ending, but then again, I have mods for that. For goodness sakes, we have a happy ending mod. We just didn't have a mod for this. The community patch made a number of bug fixes, but it didn't change things here to make it just sound better. Like, they didn't change the dialogue. It's a little hard to do that unless it's actual cut content, which they could restore. But there really wasn't. So, yeah.
If we're gonna have any chance at surviving this.
With the other races.
Together.
That's it? That's our plan?
With the other races.
We've lost contact with Luna Base.
The moon? They couldn't be that close already.
Of course they could.
Past our defenses.
Sir, UK headquarters has a visual.
Again, it's like Anderson had a mind wipe and he forgot everything about the Reapers. This is rather interesting and telling here that they're learning about the fact that they are here on Earth through the news channels instead of their own military communications.
Why haven't we heard from Admiral Hackett?
What do we do?
Oh, this line. This is the line. Oh, gosh.
The only thing we can. We fight or we die.
We should get to the Normandy.
I'm sorry, I think that line is stupid. I actually like the way the sound was handled there.
Shepard! Come on, get up.
Notice the yellow eyes?
Here, take this. We've got to get moving.
That's part of the Harbinger overhaul mod.
Report in, anyone. Lieutenant Commander Williams, is that you? What's your status? I can't raise...
They changed that Reaper there into Harbinger.
We'll meet you at the landing zone. Anderson up.
And I like that because I love the idea that he was leading the charge to Earth and amongst the first to land on Earth. And probably one of the first for Shepard to see. You see? There he is. The only thing I would like is if they added extra dialogue here.
Headed to the Normandy. They'll pick us up if we can get to the spaceport. Let's move.
Pretty nice addition there. Adding the eyes there to show that that's actually Harbinger. Okay. Oh my goodness. Alright, so give me a moment here. First off, there's something I want to check. Okay. Sorry. That way some sound effects are not too loud for you guys. If you're wondering why I'm turning down the music, copyright. It's just how it is, guys. So yeah, this was also, you could tell, some other things that they decided to change here when it comes to this. Now, let me just say that I remember having a lot of fun with the gameplay of this game. There's one thing that I remember really liking about this compared to the first two games, which was that, in my opinion, the gameplay was a lot of fun. And it makes sense, because at the time when this came out, it had a multiplayer that came with it. That's not part of the Legendary Edition. Plus, it also had a role with the single-player game, but that's a whole... I'll talk about that when we get to the war assets thing. But the gameplay for this, because they were adding a multiplayer in there, I thought was actually really, really fun. I remember spending a lot of time playing the multiplayer, but also the gameplay just in the single player, it did feel more shooter-like, but for me, I didn't think that was really a bad thing, honestly. I actually thought that was actually pretty cool, honestly, and it just felt a lot of fun. It's just one of those things where I enjoyed the gameplay of the first two games, especially 2, but I just remember really enjoying the gameplay of this game, and, you know, you'll see some more why as we continue forward here. Since they were... I'll have to change this, get rid of pull and put points and other stuff here, but, you know, being able to... Biotic Charge is just, you know, awesome with Shockwave, and then you have Nova as well, which is like you combine that with Biotic Charge and such, and it's just, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Ugh. So, you know, we'll go over some of this other stuff here. Like I said, there's more to these things here.
Admiral Stephen Hack.
We'll take a moment to listen to those later. Oh, mod settings. Huh. I didn't know that was actually something I could be able to affect here. Huh. Hold on. I'm curious. Oh. This is the first time I'm seeing this, so I didn't realize that there were actual options I could mess around with here in the game. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Corporal helmet because everyone else is wearing a helmet during the mission. Yeah. A service engineer corpse because Shepard mentions recovering the ciphers from a body. Okay. So that's for certain levels. What about story? Decide the fate of Ronald Taylor. Does not set plot data for Ronald Taylor. These options will allow you to set the correct plot data so that Jacob talks about what happened to his father. Was handed over to the Alliance, killed by his former crew, committed suicide. Alright, so that is working fine. James Normandy Rescue. Replaces the random Alliance soldier that rescued Shepard during the prologue, along with the survivor, with James. This option is currently turned off. Let's go ahead and do that. Disables Conrad's commentary about his amnesia bug. Yeah. Because obviously we fixed that. Huh. Makes the PTSD Asari that talks about Joker's sister visible only after priority Sirkash. This was done to match the timeline of Joker's statement about Tiptree better. This is best done before you visit Huerta for the first time. Okay. Victus weapon holster. Makes it so that there's a weapon on Victus's back after he holsters it during... Yeah. I like how there's these small little things that players noticed and they wanted to actually have it be there because the devs just didn't bother or didn't have the time. Removes any mention of the Crucible when talking to Kasumi at the end of Citadel Hanar Diplomat. This is because it is possible for Shepard to not know the name of the Crucible yet. Makes perfect sense. Joker Council hang-up dialogue. Removes Joker's reference of Shepard hanging up on the Council. This is for Shepard who did not do that. Yeah, I did not do that with this Shepard, so great. Master 3 does not remember the outfit that Shepard wears when waking Legion. Use these settings to change Shepard's to the correct outfit during the flashback scene in the Consensus vanilla outfits only. Aha. So it's either Cerberus officer outfit, the Kasumi outfit, the hoodie, the doctor outfit, the leather outfit, the memory spacer outfit. Well, I was wearing the hoodie, so I'll just go ahead and enable that. There we go. Okay. The happy ending one. Puts all the Normandy crew and Shepard's into clothes suitable for the memorial, like actual uniforms and such. I like the idea of that. No, removes the Stargazer scene after the credits. Yes. I'm sorry, I always hated that. That always bothered me that was there. So there you go. I didn't know that those settings were there. But, yeah. That's good to know that some of those actually have those options here, you know, settings and such for mods, as opposed, you know, to not having them there. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here, take a moment to mess with her squad points and such, and then we'll actually go through and continue the intro to get off of Earth. So stay tuned.